South Africa woke up to a political tremor that few saw coming. In the stillness of the early morning, while most of the nation slept, a highly sensitive operation unfolded behind closed gates, one that could reshape the country's political landscape for years to come. By sunrise, whispers had already begun to spread. Police investigators had quietly raided the private residence of economic freedom fighters leader Julius Malema. Not a routine search. Not a symbolic gesture. But a tightly controlled operation carried out under exceptional legal authority. According to multiple law enforcement sources, the raid was planned with extraordinary secrecy. Even senior officials were reportedly briefed at the last possible moment. The warrant, insiders claim, was approved at the highest judicial level, citing national interest and extraordinary circumstances. Officers arrived before dawn, moved quickly, and ensured there was no media presence. What they were looking for, investigators say, was not random. It was evidence. What authorities allegedly uncovered inside the residence has since ignited a storm of speculation, fear, and political tension. At the center of it all is the mysterious death of former Minister Nathi Mthethwa, a death that occurred thousands of kilometers away in Paris, yet now casts a long shadow over South African politics. Investigators reportedly conducted a meticulous search, examining hidden compartments, private safes, locked rooms, and digital storage areas with forensic precision. Items that initially appeared ordinary reportedly took on a far more serious significance once closely examined. Among the materials seized were encrypted laptops, hard drives, USB devices, and multiple mobile phones, some allegedly hidden in unconventional locations. Digital forensic teams assisting investigators believe these devices may contain sensitive information, voice notes, emails, deleted files, and encrypted message logs. Even wiped or protected devices, experts say, often leave behind digital traces. Metadata, timestamps, and fragments of communication can be reconstructed, potentially revealing who spoke to whom, when, and from where. Prosecutors, sources suggest, are watching this digital trail very closely. But the digital evidence is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Investigators also reportedly recovered extensive travel records linked to Malema and individuals within his immediate political circle. These include international flight itineraries, hotel bookings, and internal movement logs. What has drawn particular attention is that several of these journeys appear to align closely with the final days of Nathi Mthethwa's life. Leaked information suggests that members of Malema's broader network were present in Europe during the same period Mthethwa was in Paris. Travel manifests reportedly place individuals connected to his political orbit in the French capital around the time Mthethwa was last seen alive. While proximity alone proves nothing, investigators are now examining whether these movements were coincidental or coordinated. The scrutiny deepened further with reports of surveillance-style photographs and video footage allegedly recovered during the raid. These materials reportedly show unidentified individuals entering and exiting high-end buildings, including luxury hotels in Paris. Authorities believe some of the footage may have been captured near the Hyatt Regency Paris Etoile, the hotel where Mthethwa's body was later found after falling from the 22nd floor. If authenticated, this evidence could establish a troubling geographic link between Mthethwa's death and individuals connected to Malema's wider network. Perhaps most unsettling are reports of handwritten notes and letters discovered among the seized materials. These documents, believed to originate from within Malema's inner circle, allegedly contain cryptic phrases such as forced window, scissors, and no struggle. These terms mirror key elements cited in the original French police report that ruled Mthethwa's death a likely suicide. Even more troubling, several of the notes were reportedly written after Mthethwa's death, raising uncomfortable questions about prior knowledge or attempts to shape a narrative before all facts were publicly known. Financial evidence has added yet another layer of complexity. Sources claim investigators recovered large sums of cash in multiple currencies, along with banking documents pointing to offshore accounts and shell companies. Forensic accountants involved in the investigation reportedly described the financial structures as unusually sophisticated, potentially designed to obscure money flows and hide intermediaries. Certain transactions appeared to coincide with the period immediately preceding Dero's death, prompting investigators to examine whether these funds were used to support travel, accommodation, or third-party services connected to individuals present in Paris at the time. Burner phones and SIM cards were also allegedly seized. Many of these devices showed signs of having been wiped shortly before the raid. Still, experts say even partial logs, network pings, and synchronized shutdowns can reveal coordination. Reconstructing these digital timelines may prove critical in determining what happened during the final hours before Dero fell from that hotel window. To understand why this case carries such weight, one must revisit the circumstances of Nathi Mthethwa's death. A controversial former minister, Dero was entangled in corruption allegations, political rivalries, and internal power struggles. He had powerful allies and powerful enemies. French authorities initially ruled his death a likely suicide, citing a forced window, a pair of scissors in the room, and no signs of struggle. Yet doubts emerged almost immediately. Observers questioned gaps in surveillance coverage, inconsistencies in witness accounts, and unresolved questions about Dero's mental state. Those doubts never fully disappeared. And now, with the alleged discoveries inside Malema's residence, they have returned with renewed intensity. Legally, experts caution that allegations do not equal guilt. Any prosecution would require hard forensic proof, credible witnesses, and a clear chain of intent. Politically, however, the consequences are already unfolding. Within the economic freedom fighters, reports suggest growing internal divisions. Some believe Malema should step aside temporarily to protect the party's credibility. Others argue the allegations are politically motivated, designed to neutralize a disruptive opposition figure. Across South Africa, public reaction has been swift and emotional. Social media has erupted with debate, outrage, and speculation. Trust in institutions, already fragile, has taken another blow. While authorities have confirmed that items were seized, they have refused to comment on their significance. French officials, meanwhile, have not revised the official classification of Dero's death. South Africa now finds itself suspended in uncertainty. At stake is not only the future of one of its most polarizing political figures, but the integrity of its justice system and the public's faith in power. Was Nathi Mthethwa's death a tragic act of desperation? Or the final chapter of a far more deliberate political operation? Until definitive answers emerge, the nation watches, waits, and wonders just how deep this crisis truly runs.